Yeah.
Now it's working, right, Hannah?
It's working.
Yeah, there you go. Hi. Okay, so I think we're complete. So thank you everybody for joining today's She Loves Tech Germany round. Happy welcome, happy to have you join. And yeah, I'm Sinja from TechCode and I will be today's moderator. We from TechCode, we are a platform for startups and small organizations, small companies who aim to expand the business into the Chinese market. And if I'm not mistaken, we are supporting the She Loves Tech Germany round for the third time already. So thank you so much for the She Loves Tech team to have this trust in us. And we're very happy to support such an important, very important initiative for women and technology. As you can think of, we have received many great qualified startup applications. And I think I can speak on behalf of the She Loves Tech team as well as the TechCode team that it was pretty tough to decide who will pitch today. But I think we have managed to get together a pretty great finalist startup. I think we are all pretty excited. Well, at least I hope you are as excited as we are, because we have some cool projects around. So thank you all for applying to this great opportunity. And yeah, we also have many She Loves Tech Germany supporters. We have a great jury panel. Thank you so much for your time, for jumping in today. We have a great She Loves Tech Germany mentor team. We also have many community partners. And yeah, but before I'd like to introduce them, I would like to welcome Leanne Roberts from the She Loves Tech team. Yeah, welcome Leanne. Happy to have you join, and I will hand over the virtual microphone to you now.
Thank you so much, Sinja. Thank you, and thank you, TechCode. Can everybody see me okay? Yes, all right. Welcome. This is the fourth time that we're doing She Loves Tech in Germany. And first of all, I would like to congratulate all the startups for making it this far. You know, She Loves Tech, we started this in 2015, and we really started it because at different pitch competitions, at different startup competitions, you know, there were not a lot of women pitching. It was predominantly run by men at that point in time, and we would have a large group of male founders pitching, and there would be a token woman here and there, but there weren't that many. And we really wanted to change that equation because we saw so many amazing women who were building the most remarkable, groundbreaking technologies. And we really wanted to be able to provide a platform for them to showcase them, to highlight them, and for them to shine. We also then you know, as we rolled on year by year, we also then wanted to really take startups to the next level and to help all women-led, women impact startups all around the world to be able to grow, to scale, and to succeed. And really, that is our mission here at She Loves Tech. This is the 6th year that we're doing this. We are a non-profit organization, and we rely so much on help like TechCode, like so many hundreds of volunteers that we have globally to bring She Loves Tech alive. It takes a village to run something like this. And we're so happy to work closely with Iman, with Sinja, and the team at TechCode. And they have been such a pleasure to work with. And I'm so excited to hear all the startup pitches in a bit. I also want to thank all our partners for making this happen. We have our official impact partner globally, Asian Development Bank Ventures. And also to our esteemed jury of judges, our mentors, our audience, and everybody who has just supported us this far. As mentioned, this is the 6th time we're doing it. And for the last 5 years, She Loves Tech has been a series of in-person events. So if this was happening in a non-COVID world, we would be meeting up physically, we would be doing this and really having that physical intimacy. However, because of circumstances, we've had to move everything to become 100% virtual and to become everything online. And it's actually given us a lot of opportunity at She Loves Tech to grow even further. Last year, we were in about 20 countries globally. And this year, I'm very happy to announce that we are operating in over 30 countries, Germany being one of them. And we are, for the very first time, in six continents all over the world. I always joke that, you know, when lady penguins finally can build a business plan, then maybe we would finally be in all continents all around the world. So I'm really looking forward to today's session. I want to thank everyone again for your dedication, for your support, for making She Loves Tech happen year on year. All the best to the finalists. And before I end, I would love to show you a little clip of our She Loves Tech Global Startup Competition and Conference for 2019. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to She Loves Tech 2019. You are now a part of the largest women in tech startup competition in the world.
Over 80% of our 70,000 teachers are female, and I just feel fortunate that I'm working with them every day. Today, they are working on this innovative technology platform. The moms, now they feel so happy with this global teaching service that they're able to obtain on a VIP Kid platform.
在很多女性的创业者身上看到很多的闪光的地方，这是不是一个好的创业者？他其实是男性、女性没有关系，也不要去贴这样的标签。每个时代都会有自己的创业公司啊，只不过它用不同的形式在存在。其实今天只需要你不光是有自己一个 truly believe 的想法，有一个 vision， 你还得有 step by step 每件事情都做到对的这样的一个执行力。
Thank you. So this just gives a little taster of our global competition and our conference that is to come. And even though we are going to be virtual this year, but we have so many exciting things. It's given us even more opportunity. We are now just confirming and closing some amazing, really amazing speakers for our conference. And once we close them, I can't wait to share these names with you. So thank you for joining us. And once again, all the best. Thank you, TechCode.
Thank you so much, Leanne. That was great. And thank you so much for sharing this video. Some of you might not know this, but the She Loves Tech winner of last year was a German startup. It was Miriam from Phantasma Labs. So yeah, who knows? Maybe this year it will once again be a German startup who joined the global final and win the global final. So yeah, as I said before, I'd like to introduce our She Loves Tech Germany supporters. First of all, last week we had a great mentorship session. I want to thank all of the mentors who participated, who shared the valuable insights in different topics like female entrepreneurship, innovation, digital branding. There were so many exciting topics, and I think even we from TechHelp, we could learn so much from them. And I want to thank all of them. First of all, Alice Chan from Porsche Digital Labs, Then I'd like to thank Haiying Wu from Huawei Technologies, Germany. I'd also like to thank Amina Alta from Excel X. I'd also like to thank Christina Richter, who is a personal branding strategist at Christina Richter Consulting. And I'd also like to thank Val Racheva, who is the founder of the Female Founders book. So thank you so much for sharing your insights. It was very interesting, and we were very happy to have you all on the She Loves Tech team. So yeah, also we'd like to thank our open innovation partners and our community partners. We will all share them in our upcoming posts because they're quite a lot. So yeah, now let's come to today's webinar. Thank you so much to the jury panel. I'm very happy, we all are very happy to have you on the team. Thank you so much for having time today and for participating. And yeah, I'd like to introduce the judges. First of all, I'd like to welcome Maren Lesche. Could you maybe introduce yourself in one sentence?
Yeah, I'm super happy to be here. So my name is Maren. I run a small innovation agency that had the guts to apply for 1.5 million grant from the Senate of Berlin to actually support young entrepreneurs in form of an incubator. We're very happy to have, I think, 15 females out of 18 people that joined. A very strong female group, and I'm very happy to support and to see a lot of interesting deep tech solutions that we'll share today. As a side comment, I'm also invested in an Israeli company that joined She Loves Tech a couple of years ago and presented in Asia. It was an opening point for them to actually enter the Asian market. So very happy to see if a German company will make it again. It's a great opportunity. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Maren. The next judge member I'd like to welcome is Miriam Theobald. Can you please introduce yourself in one sentence?
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Miriam. I'm the founder or co-founder of Dongxii, which is a boutique consultancy for digital China. And I'm also a huge supporter, obviously, of female entrepreneurship. So I'm very happy to be here. Also on the panel with like so many female friends that I know from Berlin. So thanks again for having me.
Thank you. And we're very happy to have you on the She Loves Tech team. Next one I'd like to welcome is Fiona Hui.
Hello everyone, really glad to be invited as the judge, and I'm also a great supporter of female entrepreneurship. I currently work for Atlantic Lab, a Berlin-based VC, so I'm also scouting for new startups to invest in. So yeah, I previously worked for Axel Springer, one of the media companies here in Berlin. I used to be a journalist, so yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Fiona. We're also very happy that you're here today. Next one I'd like to welcome is Maria Asano.
So thank you for having me here. I must say I was really thrilled to be part of this. I'm also a big supporter of female entrepreneurship. I work for High-Tech Gründerfonds. We are a German VC. We're partially state-funded, partially private. We do a lot of deals per year. So we do about 30, 40 new deals per year. We have a portfolio of over 600 companies. And I can tell you the number of female entrepreneurs is far too low. So, you know, I think initiatives like these are definitely needed to increase the number of founders who say, well, you know what, I don't care about my gender. I'm just gonna do it. About me, my background is in chemistry. So I have a PhD in chemistry, did an MBA, went to VC almost directly after that, specialized in the field of chemistry. So I do deep tech investments across the spectrum from digital health to drug development, but obviously my heart sort of lies in chemistry and materials.
Thank you very much, Marie. We're very happy to have you here. And the last judge member I'd like to welcome is Hannah Dahl. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Hannah Dahl, one of 3 co-founders of CoWomen. We are the first community and co-working space for women only in Germany. We are in Berlin and in Heidelberg, so whenever you're around, just come by. We are happy to welcome you. And we are on a mission to change the world into a more feminist working world. And so always happy to support female entrepreneurs and also employees in the end, because it all matters to change the world. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much as well, Hannah. So as everybody can see, we have a great jury panel. We're so happy to have you all on board to this year's She Loves Tech Germany round. So now let's turn to the most exciting part of this event, obviously, the pitch battle. So yeah, let me just quickly wrap up the most important information about the agenda so everybody has like an idea of what's going to happen. So every startup has her own or his own time. And we will start with a short introduction of the representative of the team. Then we have a 5 minutes pre-recorded pitch video. And after that follows a live Q&A session of 3 minutes. I will have a timer with me, so we'll check on the time. And during this live Q&A session, the judges have the opportunity to ask the startup questions about their project. In case that there won't be questions from the jury side, we recommend the startup to use their time and to still pitch. Like use the time you have 3 minutes and make the most of it. Okay, that's one thing. And another thing for the remaining startups. So I'd like to have you all close down your microphone, close down your camera, so there won't be any disturbance for the startup who pitches. So if it's not your turn, please turn off your camera, turn off your microphone. And yeah, I think that's everything from my side. And for the rest of the agenda, we will follow up after the 9 pitches and Q&A sessions are over. For now, I'd like to welcome our first startup, which is Oreltech. And I'd like to welcome Marie. Could you please introduce yourself in 1 sentence?
Hi everybody, thanks for having me and thanks for the invitation to take part at the She Loves Tech, and hi Yuri. Yeah, my name is Marie. I'm a chemist and also a pioneer in supporting new sustainable materials, products and processes in the field of chemicals. And after watching the short video, our pitch, we can talk about more what Oreltech is.
Thank you very much, Marie. And here follows your pitch video.
Thanks.
Hello, I'm Natalia Zamoshik. I'm CEO of Oreltech.
Hi, my name is Marie Westphal. I'm the commercial director of Oreltech, and in Oreltech we metallize surfaces. But what does it mean when we are talking about the metallization of surfaces? The world of electronics is moving towards more and more advanced gadgets and electric devices. We attempt to make them more comfortable and ergonomic, as well as having more useful functions. And with Oreltech, we are making these devices thinner, more flexible and lighter, so that we can fold them into a pocket, integrate into clothes, and even attach directly to our bodies.
In Oreltech, we work in the field that's called printed electronics. It's where one can print electronic components by printer, layer by layer, putting layer of different materials one on top of each other to create very thin electronic devices. And this technology make more feasible in our nearest future to produce flexible smartphones and medical monitors embedded in our clothes or other such futuristic devices. Of course, in this field there are many technological obstacles that we still must to overcome. One of such technological challenges we solve in Oreltech. So this challenge is how you put metal on top of all these thin and sensitive materials, most often polymers, without destroying them, but making them to conduct electricity.
Yeah, and how we can improve these metallization processes. We have to consider not only technological, but also its economical aspect. Because we are talking here about precious metals, like silver, gold, and others. And you can evaporate these metals, but it's extremely expensive. And another great idea came about 15 years ago, so-called conductive inks, right? Mm-hmm. And the idea is to synthesize metal nanoparticles, print them on surfaces, heat them up, so that they glue together to form a metal layer. But unfortunately, it's still far from being a perfect technology. Also, the conductive ink market is up to $3 billion. And due to necessary process condition, it's destructive to many of thin, bendable, and sensitive layers of polymers.
Yes, this is why in Oreltech we produce different type of conductive inks. We print a clear liquid solution without any particles inside. And we grow our metal layer directly on surface from the printed liquid in the place we need it and in the shape we need it. And for our inks, it's not an issue if you need to print some very small and complicated shapes, or you just need to cover large areas to make them conductive. So our inks are very versatile, and our library of materials has very different type of solutions, and we're able to create new one for the new projects and new applications. And what such applications could be, Mary?
Yeah, how does our future look like? For example, when we talk about smart textiles, here can you see a piece of textile which is printed by Oreltech's ink, and you can see also the flexibility of this textile, and also it's super interesting to have integrated wearable on your sport clothes, for example, yeah. And yeah. It's not necessary to have it separate on your arm, for example.
Yes, we all are dreaming about private personal medicine. It means that we will create some medical sensors that can be attached directly to our body and transfer the data directly to our smartphones. And how we expect our smartphones to see in our near future.
Yeah.
They're going to be much more flexible and much more lightweight. So we have some transparent electrode for such smartphone that makes them much more flexible than they now.
Yeah, this is not the smartphone what you can see here, but this is an part of the touch screen and display.
Yes, and also we are thinking about driving electric cars, and for electric cars we definitely have to think how to make it more lightweight. So it means that we have to replace metal parts by plastic coated with metals. So technology and materials that we make in Oreltech are helping to make all these things more affordable for people and more sustainable for producers. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So yeah, thank you for sharing the video, Iman. Now it's the jury time. Do you have questions?
So yeah, I would actually have a question. Can everybody see me? Yep. Yeah. So Marie, thanks for the pitch. You know, you kind of spoke to my heart, material science and all. I think your pitch was very high level. So you have a lot of applications that you want to target, from consumer electronics to sensorics for medicine, for consumer electronics, wearables also. So I'm just looking at my notes. What is your first concrete application? Which market are you going to target first? And do you already have a minimal viable product for that? And what kind of traction have you gotten?
Yeah, thanks Marie for your question. Yeah, how you could see our inks or inks in general are usable in so many branches and fields. And at the moment, currently, Oreltech considers the transparent metal coatings used for the conductive inks, conductive electrodes. Also, then you could see then this piece of transparent PET, for example, which was printed by a silver electrode, and also the use case of these kind of transparent plastic surfaces as used for touch plates, smartphones, for your e-books and e-readers, for example, but also for the automotive. Everywhere you can see then the touch screens and sensor systems. you have to use these kind of electrodes, and something is going on when you touch it directly on the surface. And next to this transparent silver inks, we have focused in our gold inks. So in the field of healthcare for the sensors and sensorics. The price of gold is, I guess, the most highest price in the world what we have now. And so with Oreltech's technology, how to print metal layers on surfaces, you can reduce material. And so that means then you can save money.
Have you any specific partners that you already partnered with?
Yeah, we have partners from the automotive field, a huge player also, which we tested some transparent silver inks on a specific application. And also we have running project with, for example, with customer from the field of functional tapes and also with smart papers.
Do you, or if I may ask another question, do you guys already have first pilot customers? And can you briefly tell me, in comparison to conventional technology, what just sort of have values for increase in performance, and what are they, these KPIs?
We had our first customer as well, so we could sell first inks. Of course, Oreltech is a material manufacturer. Yeah, so the application was also then example what you can do with Oreltech inks. And Marie, can you repeat your last question again so I understood it correctly to answer it, please?
Yeah, so the first one was pilot project. The second one was conventional technology. So in comparison to already existing technologies, what is better? What are the characteristics that you have improved by how much?
Yeah, okay. For the final application is, for example, a flexible OLED for the use in lighting. It's a part of the lights or of the lamps, in a cooperation of the University of Humboldt here in Berlin. We will get hopefully this paper, for example, in the end of this year. And also at the moment we have some running project to get then final pilot prototypes in the end of this year.
So thank you very much, guys. The time is over. Thank you so much, Marie. Thank you to the jury for asking the questions. Now I'd like to welcome the second startup, UVisio and Larissa. Can you please introduce yourself in one sentence?
Yes, hello. Do you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Larissa and I'm a co-founder and managing director of UVisio. And I have a background, first degree in engineering, industrial engineering, and second is an MBA. So I started this company based on my personal experience, and actually I never had an intention to have a startup, but it happened the way it happened.
Thank you very much. And here comes your pitch video.
Maybe I should continue because there is no sound. So the problem is that, maybe I should just talk over the slides because I don't hear the sound. I'm Larissa, I'm a co-founder of UVisio, and we all love the sun, but this love is not always reciprocal.
More than just sunburns. Moreover, overexposure to sunlight can cause increased risk of skin cancer. 1 in 5 people might develop skin cancer within a lifetime, according to statistics. and I was one of those people. Therefore, I came up to the idea to develop a personal sun protection assistant that helps us quantify the invisible UV light. It's very easy to use. It includes only three steps. All you have to do is measure your skin before exposure to the sun, put on a wearable device, and enjoy the sun. It will warn you when it's time to take action. A small wearable device includes UV measuring functionality. It is dust-proof and waterproof, and the battery life is about 2 months, so you don't have to recharge it. The mobile application offers extended functionality in terms of UV forecast for the 5 days, more information about your skin, more information about sun protection tips, and also information about the sunscreen you're using. The market is big because we are everywhere where the sun is shining. We estimate the market value of $11 billion based on the sales of sunscreens. And in terms of competition, we are the first ones who offer the full complex solution that not only includes a device, standalone device to measure UV exposure, but also skin analysis functionality to offer an individualized sun protection tool, which is tailored to everybody's skin. The first version of our device is already available for sales for the promotional price of €39, including shipment costs. And the next generation of our device that includes improved and more advanced skin measuring functionality and skin reaction prediction algorithms to make our solution even more personalized will be available for sales in March. We started in 2017 from the participation in Startup Bootcamp Digital Health here in Berlin. 2018 we received seed funding to develop and produce our samples and develop the apps and also for skin imaging functionality. And last year we received a grant from the European Union to develop individualized solution with skin sun sensitivity prediction algorithms. We are working on this together with the university in Rennes in France. We also partnered with Almirall. This is a pharmaceutical company which is strong in dermatology, and of course we had a little bit more widespread plans to start selling and do the marketing campaign this summer, but because of COVID we spent more time on pilot projects, and we start B2C sales next year. Our team is strong and has different capabilities and experiences in hardware development, in software development, in skin imaging technology, and in manufacturing. Overall work experience includes not only pure digital businesses like startups, including Zalando and other rocket internet companies, but also companies in medtech such as GE Health and Philips. We are currently raising $500,000 to further develop our skin reaction prediction algorithms and for deploying the sales and marketing activities. Thank you very much and good luck, everybody.
So thanks for the pitch video, and we're sorry for the technical issue in the beginning. Any questions from the jury side?
Yes, I have one. So thank you, Larissa, for the pitch. So regarding your team, who is advising, or is there anyone like all the time advising you who is a doctor or scientist in this field?
You're on mute, Larissa.
Yes, sorry for that. Just elaborating a little bit more on your question. Scientists in the area of skin or UV measurement?
A skincare scientist or biologist or a skincare doctor?
Currently, we have a specialist who worked in Philips in the area of skin imaging, and we are working with Almiral. So this is a pharmaceutical company in Spain with their specialist on the pilot project.
Thank you very much. Another question from the jury side.
I have one question because it's a hardware device. Of course, there's always the question, first of all, what's your go-to-market strategy? I think you mentioned B2B and B2C. And then, of course, the costs related to the production cost of the device, like how is the balance?
The first version of device is quite affordable because we want to get to the market and to be able to also to learn from the consumer. And our long-term strategy is not in selling devices, but mostly in skin analysis cases. So we would like not only to analyze the skin reaction to UV light, but also to cooperate with dermatologist offices. And we have one of the companies, Derma2Go, with whom we would like to partner on cases. So we start with hardware development and selling. So the basic version costs $10 in production. And the most advanced version currently costs $20 in production because it includes more advanced sensors, because this is for sun-sensitive people. But our long-term strategy is focusing more on selling the cases and not only hardware.
And another question regarding the CE certification. So you are a class 1A or 1B? What I haven't really seen that. And this is something you want to do next year, right? Or is it this year? I can't hear you, Larissa. Larissa, you're still on mute?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Maren, I got disconnected and I haven't heard your second question. Can you repeat it, please?
As I've seen, you want to be a medical device
Maren,
class.
do you hear?
I can hear you. Medical device, you want to apply to become a medical device, is that correct?
I'm so sorry, but I really cannot hear you. You mentioned the medical device.
Yes.
And yes, okay, now this is what I heard. So first we got the CE certification for the current product, and next year we are, after the clinical trials, we will go to the area of medical certification of the device for sun sensitive. And our plan is to go into the Digital Care Act with this product to be able to offer this as a solution for people suffering from PML. This is polymorphous light eruption syndrome. So for people who suffer from different skin reactions to the sun.
Super interesting. Thanks for answering.
Thank you all, but the time is over now. Yeah, thank you a lot, Larissa. It was very interesting. Now I'd like to welcome the next startup in line, which is Swipe Guide and Wilhelmine. Wilhelmine, can you please introduce yourself in one sentence?
Hi, my name is Wilhelmine Snijder, and I'm one of the proud founders of Swipe Guide, a workforce excellence platform.
Thank you very much. And here follows your pitch video.
Good afternoon. My name is Wilhelmine Snijder and I'm a proud founder and CEO at Swipe Guide. Swipe Guide is the fastest growing manufacturing operations platform in Europe, a worker excellence platform that spares resources for better use in food and beverage manufacturing. We were founded in 2016, and year to date, we have over 24 swipies working to rock the world of instructions that we feel is fundamentally broken. Digital disruption is everywhere, but the world of manufacturing is still stuck in the last century. Just imagine putting away your smartphone and going back to text-heavy paper instructions and manuals that are hard to find and difficult to understand in your daily work. Well, that is still a reality in today's manufacturing industry. And yes, ineffective workplace training, bad instructions, and a lack of perpetual skilling are costing the manufacturing industry billions in lost productivity every single year. Did you know that just misplacing a labeler is causing 150,000 bottles of whiskey to be wasted each hour? So we present the Swipe Guide Knowledge Performance Platform. We provide a very intuitive way to create enhanced reality work instructions in just minutes. Operators and engineers visualize, standardize, and execute these work instructions on their mobile devices and smart glasses with real-time feedback and tracking. We combine data from machinery and devices to make sure you have the right instruction at your fingertip, anytime, anywhere. And yes, Swipe Guide is built for people but enhanced by AI. We translate proven instructional design principles and knowledge analytics to automated editing recommendations to provide a continuous feedback loop. Simply put, with our platform, anyone will be able to create a better instruction with impact. And based upon patented design of our instructional templates and the uses across factories in our database, we have found a way to model the human workforce digital twin, a huge leap forward in the automation for this type of industry. We are a plug-and-play ready SaaS platform. We are born globally with customers like Heineken, PepsiCo, Chivas Brothers, and Coca-Cola. We go to market vertical by vertical, capturing both enterprises and individual factories at the same time. Since founding, we have shown an above benchmark growth rate. We have grown from 250K ARR to over €1 million committed in just 2 years. Our software runs at over 150 locations across the globe with over 100,000 users every month. And with our solution, we tap into a growing $5 billion market, where our next steps are to replicate our successes to different verticals and markets to grow to 10 million ARR in the next 5 years, using the user effort score as a constant driver to further eliminate frictions in the user experience, creating simplicity in a world where complexity is assumed. Well, we are a team of highly diverse experts, always ready to rock your world of instructions. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much. And now follows the Q&A session. To the judges, do you have any questions?
What's
First
next?
of all, thank you.
Sorry.
Go for it.
No, Marie, you go.
Okay. So I think it's fantastic to see these kind of solutions. So we see quite a lot of these kind of digital solutions, right? And a lot of the points, a lot of times the problem is the data interface between, you know, the existing machinery they have and the digital world. So how do you sort of confront that issue?
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for the question, and we do recognize that. So I think important to note is that we are really focusing on solving one problem, and that's knowledge performance at scale. So we don't want to recommend manufacturers on who should do what when. We integrate with solutions like Parsable, for example, or like an MES or an ERP system. We run basically 2 apps. So our app is designed for the frontline worker at the line. They share a device, they pick it up, they either scan a QR code and instantly get pointed to the right instruction or procedure, or they get a work order at ABB, for example. They have a work order, they click on the link and they get to the instruction or the standard operating procedure with Swipe Guide. The data is sent back and forth behind the scenes, so to say. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
I would love to know, because you have a lot of traction, what's next on your agenda? Like, what are the next plans for the company? Where do you want to grow into? What are the areas you want to want to focus on?
Yeah, so currently, as you can see from our customers, we have found traction in the food and beverage manufacturing industry. So for the upcoming year, at least, that is our sole focus. So currently we're solving the problem of, I'd say, knowledge availability and performance at scale among those manufacturers. The next step for us is to expand that from the other tier 1, 2 customers. The other line is getting the machine manufacturers on board, because actually a lot of our customers are repeating a creation of documentation that are actually provided by a shared pool of machine manufacturers. And we have found the first use case in providing a business case, so return on investment for a machine manufacturer on its own with a platform. And the next step up there would leverage that knowledge and make it available through, let's say, a music store, an Apple Music store, but then for critical operational knowledge. So from the asset manufacturer to the Heinekens or the PepsiCos, for example. So that would be to leverage it in a multi-sided platform approach. If you look at our commercial growth, we're looking to stabilize our growth. Of course, we had some impact from COVID-19. We saw some postponements in our pipeline as the main, manufacturers were focused on crisis management. We're moving beyond that point and getting back to implementation projects. So we want to back up on that growth again. And at some point in the next year, we want to scale. And then we're looking to have a specific go-to-market strategy for the North American market and then for the South American market. Does that answer your question?
Thank you all. That was very interesting. Thank you, Willem, and thank you to the judges. Now I'd like to welcome the next startup in line, which is Advosense. I'd like to welcome Martina. Can you please introduce yourself in one sentence?
Yes, hello, I'm Martina, and I am working with my co-founder, Aaron Webb, who's also here today with us. And we are on a mission to transform geriatric care by creating an incontinence brief that uses sensing technology to let nurses know that their patients are wet so they can provide quality care. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And here follows your pitch video.
Good afternoon. My name is Martina, and I've been a registered nurse for over 10 years. And for the last 10 years, I've been trying to manage my patients with incontinence to the best of my ability. Now, while the health system becomes more and more overwhelmed and patients are getting older and sicker, the process has not changed. I've been changing my patients' brief, what we call adult diapers, in the same inefficient, time-consuming, material-wasting way. I'm running around, I'm checking my patients randomly, only to find them not wet, then soaked, waking them up at night, not having the right materials with me, or to be honest, on many shifts, even forgetting to check. I have so much to do and I don't have enough resources. Now imagine those patients who cannot ring the bell and tell me they're wet. For example, those patients with dementia. These patients suffer in silence. These are the ones sitting in wet, dirty briefs, embarrassed, and increasing the risk of serious infections. This is not what I call providing quality of care. And it's time to make a change and give me and my fellow nurses the tools to provide these patients with the care that they deserve. And this is where we come in. I am working with a female-founded team of 2 fantastic women from very different backgrounds, and we are Advosense. This is not only a problem for my patients, but for millions of patients around the world. 1 in 3 women over 65 years old suffer from urinary incontinence. Not only is this affecting their quality of life, but it's a leading risk factor for serious complications such as pressure ulcers, falls, and urinary tract infections. These can cost up to billions of dollars to treat. And the worst thing is, these complications are preventable. Again, what's the issue? There's just no best practice. We just don't know when our patients are wet. We went out and we validated this problem and our solution with stakeholders across Germany, Canada, and the US, from doctors to nurses to C-level management. And 92% agree that they want a technology to notify them, and they would love to use our solution and see it benefiting them and integrating into their care routine. So we went on a mission. We went on a mission to empower clinicians to know when, where, and how to best respond to their patients' needs. How does it work? We've taken the brief that patients are already wearing today and integrated a passive sensor within it. When the patient becomes wet, it sends a signal to the nurse so they know it's time to change their patient. Our product contains 3 parts: the brief itself, the bedside unit, and the accompanying software. It's discreet for the patient. It brings value to the organizations by reducing costs and resources, and it integrates seamlessly into the workflow. With close collaboration from our end users, the nurses, we develop a device that's different from the competition today, that's not on the market. Our competitors that are not the traditional briefs are creating clip-on, reusable plastic battery-powered sensors. These need to be taken on and off each time a person needs to be changed and cleaned, and it's not nice for the patient to wear. We've developed a different type of technology, a technology that's integrated directly into the brief itself. It's discreet, and the patient doesn't even know it's there. The nurse does not have to reapply it and does not have to change it. They simply throw it away. We will focus on the markets of Germany, the US, and Canada to start. Now remember, there are 77% of patients in nursing homes suffer from urinary incontinence. There are 800,000 care beds in Germany alone and 13,000 facilities. This is an expected increase of 30% by 2030. So we are selling the disposable briefs and the system to hospitals and nursing homes. We will also work together with manufacturers and distributors to get access to customers and to also reduce the burden of switching costs for the organization. We have developed a value-based pricing model, selling the briefs at the same price that the hospitals are paying for today and charging €1 per patient day for the Advosense system. So what's next? We founded over the summer and validated our technology with the Fraunhofer Institute and submitted an IP application. We are now in the process of prototype development and getting ready to start looking for partners for clinical testing in order to have medical device regulation and to nationalize our patent. And of course, we're looking to grow and expand the team once we secure funding. We have a great group of advisors currently from the Berlin's Vision Health Pioneers Incubator, which we are a part of now, and we're working with our external technical partners to develop a prototype. We are looking for €600,000 for funding in order to reach our next milestones. So if Advosense can save one patient from just one pressure ulcer, one fall, and one urinary tract infection, we would save a hospital close to $200,000. So please join us and keep our patients dry. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now follows the Q&A session. Any questions from the jury side?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Sorry, there you go. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm always the one asking. Go for it.
My question is, I find your product very interesting, and I'd like to know the cost of your briefs. Like you said that your briefs are like for one-time use only. How much is it?
Great. So we're still working on our cost of goods sold with the prototype. However, we're expecting to use the same briefs that the patients are wearing today, which are at about 20 cents per brief. And then we will be charging the organizations what they're paying at about 40 cents. And using the sensor that we are hoping to use runs at about 10 cents per sensor. So the brief cost for the organization will remain the same. They're paying for the software and the accompanying bedside unit.
Another question?
This cost reduction argument is really, really interesting. I'd actually have a question about, so first of all, you're saving, wait, let me gather my thoughts. The problem is that a lot of medical care device applications, patient benefit is good, but obviously it has to make economic sense, right? Unfortunately. You said that the patient, if a patient falls ill, let's say, it would cost the hospital an extra $180,000. Plus the fact that you're saving the nurse time and resources. Did you sort of calculate how, because X% of the nurse's time is being utilized to check diapers, that would correlate into how much cost saving in the terms of monetary value as a sales argument for the hospital?
Great, Marie. Yes, we did. We originally started with a value-based pricing model, and this includes taking the indirect and direct costs for the hospital, comparable to the regular incontinence briefs that they're using today. So we took direct costs such as what you said, staffing time and actual incontinence materials. And we do expect an increase of the amount of staff time for actually changing patients, because they will be changing the patient more, which is in line with best practice, knowing that the patients are now wet. However, we saw a reduction in the indirect cost savings for extra incontinence materials, laundry services for spillover, and then again, the acquired, hospital-acquired infections from the risk factors from improper incontinence management. And with that, we saw a 25% reduction in cost savings for the organization, taking into account how much per treatment cost there is and the incidence rates we assume to save.
I have another question. Have you been in touch with German health insurance? Yeah, German health insurances, because usually like those medical products are won with tenders, I guess. Yeah. So do you have any feedback? Have you talked to big health insurances yet?
So we haven't done initial outreach to big insurance providers as one-on-one conversations at this point yet, but in terms of our research, we are looking to fall into the care reimbursement scheme in the future through the innovation funds. However, at the moment, we plan on looking for private facilities to gain traction before reaching out to these. And we do believe that the product itself can fall under the care reimbursement with a subsidy from either the organization or the patient themselves once it goes above the reimbursement, which is about €1.20 per patient day.
Thank you very much, Martina. Thank you very much for the judges for these great questions. Time is up. I'd like to welcome the next startup in line, which is FinMarie. I'd like to welcome Caroline. Can you please open up your camera and introduce yourself in one sentence, please?
Hi, I'm Caroline Bell, COO and co-founder of FinMarie. Our goal is to close the gender wealth gap by providing financial advice, investment solutions, and an online educational community to help women have control and confidence with money and investing to help them achieve financial independence.
Thank you very much. And here follows your pitch video.
Hello, I'm Caroline Bell, COO of FinMarie. At FinMarie, our goal is to close the gender wealth gap. And why is the gender wealth gap so important? It's because the gender wealth gap impacts a woman's choice, freedom, and security. So how do we do this? We're offering accessible and affordable investment advice for women at any stage of their financial journey. We're women and we understand what women need to overcome their hesitation with taking control of their own financial independence. And so we offer scaled financial advice, investment solutions, but also an online investment community to provide education and support. One of the things that is often misunderstood is women really do have unique challenges that aren't fully met or understood. And these include, among other things, the gender pay gap. There still is a difference between what women earn and what men earn. Women are generally the ones that are taking career breaks to raise a family. Women are less likely to invest their money than men. We hear so often that women have seen male financial advisors and they just don't feel that they're listened to. Divorce often has a negative effect on a woman's financial situation. And of course, women live longer, so they need to actually have more to support a longer lifestyle. And one of the things that we found is women generally don't either have the time, the knowledge, the interest, and importantly, the confidence to take action or make decisions about their financial future. And then on top of all of this, something else which affects both men and women is realising that they cannot rely on the government for their retirement compared to their parents. And so there really is one uncomfortable truth, despite all the advancement that's been made with equality, is there is a gender gap when it comes to money. And one of the studies that have been done in the last few years is women still have 75% less wealth than men in Europe. So what is our solution? So as I mentioned, we're offering scaled financial advice. We want to offer financial advice to women who would otherwise be unable to obtain affordable financial advice. Investment solutions that they can invest online, but also providing a community and education in relation to how to invest, hints and tips about money, videos, etc., all designed to help a woman achieve financial independence. The myfinmarie.com, our online investment community, will include these factors, and we really want women to feel that they're part of a community, including guest speaker interviews, detailed how-to guides, and monthly live Q&A sessions with real financial advisors. This is the team, the two founders, Carolina Decker and myself, Caroline Bell, and we're supported by Azra, who helps us with marketing. We also have an advisory board who provide guidance and insights in relation to the direction of FinMarie. The market is huge. Really, when we're looking at women in terms of to Europe, even if we take a very small view of just focusing on Germany at the start, as well as with the small number of people that currently invest, it's still a large target market of over 83 million euros. And this doesn't even take into account that we're targeting more women to invest. So who is a FinMarie client? It's really someone that doesn't have the time, the knowledge to do it alone, and really just wants some help. And of course, we hear from so many women that they're overwhelmed with choice. What we offer is really the scaled financial advice, which financial advisors and banks can't offer. In addition, we offer online investment solutions like robo-advisors, but with a personal touch as well through the online education community, with offering financial advice. So we're more inclusive to more women, and that's really important to us. We offer a very accessible investment solution, not only in terms of fees, but also at account minimum. So our entry-level investment solution of €500 is a lot less than many other competitors out there in terms of robo-advisors. So in terms of our business model, in terms of how we earn money, so it's through the online investment solution. It's our online community in terms of where we have the monthly subscription. We do also offer financial advice one-on-one and workshops through employers. We've been making really good progress and actually looking forward to October, where we're really sort of launching our white label, FinMarie Invest solution in terms of our online investment solution, and myfinmarie.com in terms of the online community. We're really sort of focused on building the revenue in terms of both members with the online community and investment figures as well. We've got a detailed marketing strategy to get to scale and sort of really build everything up. And of course, we're happy to chat and speak to any potential investors. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, thank you very much, Caroline. That was a great pitch. Any questions from the jury side?
Yes, thank you very much for the lovely pitch. I was wondering, can you tell us a little bit about your pilot customers?
So this is one of the interesting things. We have a sort of a broad range from customers, from women who might just starting in their first jobs and are finding themselves starting to actually save some money and not sure what to do with it, maybe not exactly even sure what their goals are and what they should be thinking about, right through to women who might be coming through a divorce and are having to deal with money for the very first time. Maybe their husbands have dealt with it a lot, or women coming into inheritance as well. One of the interesting things is with the team, we've sort of got Azra in her 20s, so she can sort of really connect with the women that are sort of really in the workforce for the first time and learning to save money. Carolina, my co-founder, is in her 30s and a mum, so she really understands the issues that mothers face. And I'm in my 40s, starting to push 50, and so have a sort of a much better understanding of some of the issues that sort of older women face as well.
Thank you very much. Do you have another question?
Yes. Do you have any plans to have cryptocurrency in your portfolio?
Have what, sorry?
Cryptocurrencies?
No. That to me, that is more of a speculative investment, and we're sort of really focused on investing and not sort of doing speculative investments based on sort of price movements.
I have a very general question. How is financial advisory for women different from financial advisory for men? It's all about returns, right? If it's
no, definitely not. Definitely not. It's definitely not about returns. It's about understanding. I mean, the whole purpose of money is really what do you want to do with that money? And so that the purpose of money is to achieve what your personal life goals are. And so it needs to take into account, a lot of women don't understand that, and they also really even need help understanding what are my goals and how do I do things such as taking a career break. I've seen sort of so many women over the years just find it too hard, or even, and particularly in Germany, where a friend of mine was just told, oh, money's not your thing. Leave that to your husband. And then, as a result, so many women end up in much worse financial positions. So it's not necessarily about giving women a better financial return. It's hearing women, it's helping them understand about money and investing so they can take it into their own hands. And particularly as a financial advisor who's been advising in 3 countries, I cannot tell you the number of women who have come to me as clients and have been with a male financial advisor and have just said that they felt patronized or not understood.
So your company is also about raising awareness about raising awareness among women when it comes to asset
Absolutely. It's really sort of giving women the confidence and control that they can manage their own finances. They don't need anyone else to do it for them.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, all of you guys. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, judges, for the great questions. The time is up now.
Pleasure.
And I'd like to welcome the next startup in line, which is Nocturne and Ella. Ella, can you please open up your camera and introduce yourself, please?
Just 1 second. Okay, let me see. No. Okay, hi, I'm Ella from Nocturne, CEO and co-founder of a company that has as mission to improve the current way of doing diagnosis and monitoring of neurological diseases by simply looking at the eye. And as I'm more towards the end of the pitches, I have to say that I'm super excited of the products that have been presented, and I have a technological background, so I'm also a great supporter of women in tech. And because I strongly believe that this will be not an exception in the future. So
thank you very much, Ella. And here follows your pitch video.
Hello, I'm Ella, CEO and co-founder of Nocturne, where we bring down the walls of the increasing burden of neurological diseases by simply using the eye as a window to the brain. Multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, Alzheimer are not only extremely difficult to diagnose, involving cost and time-consuming tests not always widely available, but even when you finally have the diagnosis, which can take up to years, there are no easy accessible tools to provide an optimal monitoring for these patients. Our goal with Nocturne is to support physicians to improve these processes, since numerous studies have already shown that if you provide an early diagnosis and a more personalized treatment, this has the potential to delay disability by years. And in order to do so, we make use of an already existing and established hardware on the market that is time and cost efficient and gives you high resolution images of the retina. What we develop is an AI-based software solution that analyzes these pictures specifically for neurological applications. For the market entry, we provide this as a local installable application that is very easy for the user, So you just upload the picture, start the analysis, and you get back in a couple of minutes a report with the relevant parameters. We have 3 customer segments: the academic research, the clinical industry for drug trials, but our main focus is the healthcare, specifically large hospitals and practices, which we'll address after receiving the CE mark for fall this year. Our business model is a paper analysis, which is quite common for services in this field. When we look at the market, what's striking is not only the large number of patients that is constantly increasing, but also the enormous costs on the healthcare. What we know so far for our first clinical application, multiple sclerosis, is that if you start early with the diagnosis and provide an optimal monitoring, this has a huge potential because it can reduce the disease activity by more than 50%, delay disability by years, and ultimately, of course, reduce the costs on the healthcare. So we invite you to rethink the standard care for the diseases that we mentioned, starting with multiple sclerosis, because we have the potential to improve the initial diagnosis, which reduces the delay in starting with the treatment, but also provide a risk assessment for the patient that might develop a more aggressive course of the disease, and improve the monitoring, which means having a more informed therapy decision, a more personalized therapy decision. We, the founders at Nocturne, worked together more than 6 years to develop this technology, and we bring together several skills from clinic, AI, imaging, but also experience with bringing other medical devices on the market. What we achieved so far since funding in 2018 is that we did several validation studies. We filed 3 patents. We also worked with hospitals from Germany, US, and Canada. We received several grants from the German government, but also from the European Commission, and we are about to receive the CE mark. We are also collaborating with one of the largest imaging center from Switzerland, MIAC, and we are also in an innovative pilot multi-center project organized by Novartis for multiple sclerosis. We also started this year collaborating with 2 hardware manufacturers. We are always looking for hospitals to use our solution, but also for partners in the academic and in the industry field. So I invite you to bring down this wall of the burden of neurological diseases such that we all can spend more quality time with our loved ones. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ella. Now it's time for the Q&A session. Any questions from the jury?
Hi, Ella. Thank you very much for your pitch. I personally believe that there is a huge potential in the near future for solutions like yours, because we are becoming more and more wealthy. And I think what is needed is especially new solutions in the area of e-health and also earlier and easier diagnosis of all kinds of diseases. I was wondering, could you elaborate a little bit more on what kind of diseases can be detected early? And also, because in your pitch deck I read, you also can detect Alzheimer's earlier via the retina. I didn't know that, and I think Alzheimer's is one of the diseases that doesn't have any changes or like positive implications if you treat it earlier. So if you could explain a little bit more about this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So we do target these 3 diseases. There are more neurological diseases involved for which we even have proof that we can bring value, but they are more rare diseases. So this is a more complicated way of dealing with them. We do also differentiate between multiple sclerosis case and Alzheimer and Parkinson, because this also includes different type of patient groups. So multiple sclerosis are people that receive the diagnosis, unfortunately, in their prime working years. So the value added is also on the indirect cost, for example, due productivity loss, but also for the patients, because they just are much more engaged with their disease, and they're looking to improve their quality of life directly. While for Parkinson and Alzheimer, the use case is a bit different. And what we've seen and talked with specialized neurologists is that there is a shift of paradigm in how to deal with these diseases, because there is clear evidence that both diseases start even 10, even 20 years before the symptoms that lead to the diagnosis actually happen. And there is already evidence that the retina, as part of the of the brain, is affected in these diseases at a very, very early stage. So you are absolutely right. There is no cure for these diseases, but with pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical drugs, but also with cognitive exercise, with changes in lifestyle, you can actually improve by a very high percentage the quality of life, and which also indirectly has an impact on the quality of life of your caregivers. So yeah.
Are you guys the only ones in the field that are identifying new biomarkers using optical coherence tomography? Or are there other competitors?
We are not. So we are the only ones going to the direction of neurological diseases for currently for multiple sclerosis and Parkinson. In Alzheimer, there are two companies relatively early, so they're still in the clinical studies where they develop a hardware solution as well. It's a bit different than the optical coherence tomography. And we are looking forward to see what this brings. They are on the clinical study phase since like 5 years now, so we will have to see how this evolves. What we see as a very high value added is that the optical coherence market is growing very fast. So basically you have these devices everywhere, and our goal is to go towards a screening solution. So basically an add-on service for this analysis that you would do on an ophthalmology, optometry, maybe even a technician. So it's kind of bringing it a level down and then offer an early screening.
I definitely see that as an advantage, by the way, that the machines are available anywhere, meaning that the added cost for customers to implement it is really low. Or actually not at all, right? They will just do the standard check. Can you also detect disease progression? Have you done that too?
Yes, so in multiple sclerosis, actually, this is the monitoring part. So we have different parameters that can tell you whether your disease is progressing. This is a very simple, you can imagine this, that it is happening in terms of thinning. So you, as in the brain, you lose unfortunately parts of it. You also lose parts of the retina, of the nervous cells of it. Of course, it's in terms, you have to, the advantage of looking in the retina is that you look at micrometers. So you basically can detect much earlier certain changes. And this correlates also with later vision loss and medication and other clinical parameters.
Okay, super. Just one comment and then I'll shut up. I think that's really cool, if I may say so, because that makes it really interesting for pharma as well. If they're testing out a new drug, obviously also give them a completely new cost-efficient opportunity to track disease progression depending on their clinical trials. And that's all.
That we are aware of them. We just don't want to be just a pharma service in the future. So yeah,
for sure.
So thank you very much, guys. The time is up. Thank you, Ella, and thanks to the jury for all the questions. We would like to turn over to the next startup in line, which is Vivify Textiles, and I would like to welcome Edwina. Edwina, can you please open up your camera and introduce yourself, please? You're on mute?
Mute.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I have to unmute myself. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay, great. Thank you so much, Sheila Tech judges and the team, and hi for familiar faces on the other side. And so short introduction about myself, people call me the rubbish girl. because when I first started my company, Vivify, we envisioned to turn the waste into beautiful textiles, or clothes that we can wear again at least. But at the end of the day, I think female, all of us, we have the first world problem, have nothing to wear, but the whole wardrobe of clothes to wear. And that's the reason why I tap into my space, sustainable fashion, circular economies.
Thank you very much, Edwina. Happy to have you on board. And now follows your pitch video.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Edwina. Just to give you some highlights about my company, we are an award-winning company. We're already profitable. We bootstrap in the past, and we're all self-funded. We have a patentable technology coming up and already got pilot customer, as I said in the beginning of presentations. And we've got an invincible team, as well as a strong advisory board. Every year, we dispose more than 73% of produced textile. While post-consumer waste is what the media speak most about, industry like textile mill, uniform, hospital, aged care, hotel, you name it, are heavily underserved. And post-industrial waste, they are actually untreated and unusable. So by landfilling them or incinerating them, we are actually producing more CO2, and these industries are paying more and more landfill and waste tax. But on the flip side, the opportunity lays ahead of us is that the large number of international brands are committed to use more recycled fiber in their production. If we take this opportunity, and we can actually potentially tap into a 270 billion market with about 22.2 million tons of polyester that we can circulate back to the market every year. According to WEF, the textile industry is actually growing larger and larger every single year. And what we're trending right now is that the demand for synthetic fiber, such as polyester, is also growing much larger. Hence, it's absolutely the right time to invest and also to tap into this market right now, because we're facing the rising tide. Therefore, we have developed two solutions. We first established the sustainable textile market, namely Vivify Textile, and we receive a lot of requests already from our existing customer to recycle their textile waste. We started the technology Phoenix, which is a textile-to-textile recycling technology, to close the loop on fiber separations. So let me give you some more detail about our solutions. As I mentioned, we are already an award-winning profitable company, and we have already been manufacturing sustainable textile out of waste in the past 4 years. As we are already profitable, we look to expand our market reach by franchising our existing sales functions to more local markets. As to our technology, it is a solvent-free technology and it doesn't directly produce CO2. What it does is that it takes the textile waste and we treat it in a homogeneous condition. We separate the poly and the natural fiber. So these make us a more carbon-friendly technology. Our expansion involves threefold in our business model. And Vivify Textile will be the parent company, while Phoenix is our subsidiary that holds the IP of the technology. Our model is not made to be capital intensive, and the waste subscription is only to focus the underserved textile waste market and transport this waste to our licensees, which is the yarn manufacturer in this case. We are a more versatile startup and company compared to our competitors because we can handle both post-consumer and pre-consumer waste. And yet, we are also more sustainable because we also recycle our chemical and our water in our technology as well. So currently, we are already partnering with a university to develop this technology. And we are about to launch our pilot program in October this year. Hence, we're looking to raise our seed fund right now. and do our Series A next year. We're currently already backed by the industry. As I told you earlier in this presentation, in the like of Target, PVC, Keurings, these are the big brands that we've already been backed up. As we are already profitable, our current expansion plan is to launch our technology and extra services by 2022 and break even by 2023. Then we will recycle 10,000 tons of textile waste and achieve 43% net margin by 2026. We're currently raising 700K. Aside for fundings, we're also looking for investors and also advisors who can help us on licensing, franchising, connections with chemical suppliers, and also yarn manufacturers. Our team is international. We're business savvy people, technological driven, and we're backed by advisors from different sectors. So this is my pitch currently, and thank you so much for listening in, SheLoveTech team, and also the SheLoveTech judges. Really appreciate it, and I'm ready for questions today.
Yeah, thank you, Edwina, and thank you, Iman, for sharing. Yeah, to the judges, do you have any questions to Edwina?
I have a question. You've shown some machines. So where do you actually work right now? Here in Berlin?
At the moment, these machinery is actually in our pilot facility. They're actually located in China, in Chengdu area. But what we are working on directly is, because we are actually building the technology with this university based in China, but the actual application for the technology itself is actually applicable anywhere. So we were actually in Berlin before COVID, but after COVID, we were not really able to move offices, but we usually operate in what is it called, Charlottenstrasse in Kreuzberg usually. So also in between Alexanderplatz.
So the franchising model you have planned in 2023 is based on like hardware technology that you will prepare and provide, and the concept of following all these steps that you have shown.
Right. So let me just break it down. So there's three parts of our expansion plan. The first part is the franchising, then we have the waste subscription, then we have the licensing. The franchising is specifically focusing on our, so we existingly already manufacture a lot of sustainable textile out of waste. So we've been selling it to our customers. So what we're doing is that franchising our existing sales business to different countries, enriching all different local market that actually have the need for sustainable textile. So there's a market already out there. We already been transacting for 51 countries, customers all around the world already. Now, the technology is where we want to license it. So at the back end, even though we're selling this textile, customer come back and say, hey, you're already making waste, can you actually recycle my textile waste as well? So that's where we started to develop this technology. And we know that the demand deeply come from the fashion industry. So we developed this technology hoping to license it. The reason why we want to license it itself is because these technology is actually an add-on revenue model for existing recycled PET yarn manufacturers. So we license that. The plan is to go licensing from 2023, and that's exactly what you have mentioned. But for franchising, we're looking to actually franchising in starting next year. So we just need 1 year to do the preparations, and then we can already do franchising in the next following year.
Okay, thank you very much. The time is up. Thank you, Edwina, and thank you to the judges. Yeah, thanks to all the audience as well for staying with us until now. There are two more startups we'd like to welcome. And yeah, the next one in line is hers. And Yair, can you please open up your camera and introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everybody. We're very happy to be here. I'm Yair, the CEO of HERS, where we develop a smart individual solution for pelvic floor dysfunctions. I'm a product designer with the best experience in engineering and project management around the human body. And I'm a big advocate for women and equality, and this is here Linda, my co-founder.
Yes, I'm the CMO. I actually just joined briefly, so a couple of weeks ago. This was my first time pitching HERS. I'm a serial founder within the femcare industry. I've also have a platform around female care products and also a patented bra that I sell. And at HERS, I'm mostly responsible for marketing, brand building, and I obviously will assist with any sort of experience I had in my previous businesses and startup life.
Thank you to the both of you, and we're very happy to welcome you both to this event. And here follows your pitch video.
My name is Linda Vonneberger, and I'm the co-founder and CMO of HERS. Everything started with my co-founder, Yair. He was actually developing medical devices for pelvic floor dysfunctions here in Berlin. And then one day, his mother called him and said, well, Yair, maybe one day you can have a solution for my problem. What started as a weird conversation for Yair actually made him realize that his mother is not the only one suffering from pelvic floor dysfunctions. Saying that, well, every second woman will be affected by pelvic floor dysfunctions at one point during their lifetime, mostly after giving birth or in menopause. How are pelvic floor dysfunctions actually treated? So you have invasive solutions like surgeries and pharmaceuticals, but they mostly never come without side effects, complications, or are misdescribed. And then you have training. But training is very time consuming and it's hard to do effectively. But you do have pessaries, and pessaries are silicone devices that are put up the vagina to hold the pelvic floor, and they're non-invasive. But they're not really liked by patients because, well, every pelvic floor is individual and pessaries are not. There's just stiff and common one sizes. And they also often create stress wound. But what's important to understand is that the outcome of a surgery and pessary is the same. We at HERS invent the first individualized medical device that is treating female urinary incontinence and genital prolapse holistically. We developed a smart connected device, which is actually an inflatable silicone device that goes up the vagina, and then with the electric pump, it gets pumped up to every single individual pelvic floor. But we're not stopping there because we don't only want to offer immediate solution, we also want to offer long-term treatment. That is why our device is also connected with an app that offers individualized training and also individual knowledge for every single woman and their pelvic floor. And seeing that we are She Loves Tech, to sum it up, what are the main features? So our device is made of a soft robotic technology, inflatable device that is made out of medical silicone, an individualized fitting because it pumps up to every individual pelvic floor. It has a very strong hold without creating any wounds, and it's easy and fun to use. So let's take an example. We look at Sarah here. Sarah just came back to work after she had her first baby, but she's very afraid because, well, if she starts sneezing, laughing too loud, or even relaxing too much, she will wet her pants because now after birth, she's affected by stress incontinence. But when she uses HERS, she will use the device in the morning, inflate it to her liking, and then she feels safe and secure the whole day. And also, she gets push notifications during the day where she, for example, needs to flex, so she's also training her pelvic floor. So when we look at disposables for incontinence and surgeries around pelvic floor dysfunctions or incontinence, and also pessaries, we're looking at the market for over $12 billion. globally. And we can also, if we're only looking at the German market, there are right now already 11 million women who are affected by pelvic floor dysfunctions that we can target right away. And this is our team. Yair Kira is the CEO, and he's over 10 years of leading R&D medical products experience. We have Hugo Silva, our CTO. He's a founder of a 3D printing company and also has industrial design experience. And me, Elena Wannenberger, the CMO, I've also founded Complexity at GmbH. I have a platform for femcare products and also patented bra. And we are backed up by two great gynecologists. It's Karin Bessler. She is actually the one that writes the German guidelines for pelvic floor treatments here in Germany. And she's also the head of Pelvic Floor and Continence Center here in Berlin. And we have Maike Henningsen, who is also a gynecologist. She's also our business mentor. And she has, for example, also experience in Silicon Valley. We validated the problem. We have our first prototype ready. We have the right team and medical partners on our side, and now we do everything to have our functional prototype done in January, and then we're looking for funding February next year for our pre-seed investment. And I like to finish off with saying our life started on our mother's pelvic floor. It's time for us to take care about them afterwards. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Yair. Any questions from the jury side?
I'd have a question about usability. So if I were to have this problem, I would insert it in the morning. And then is it that I would have to take it out in the evening, or every time I went to the bathroom? How is that workflow? Do I need to wash it? Well, obviously I need to wash it at some point, right, and take it out. But how does it actually work in my daily workflow as a very busy woman?
Thank you for the question. It's very similar to menstruation cup. So basically, you would apply it in the morning, take it out in the evening. Some women would just wear it for sports. So it's different from one case to another. And then you would wash it with hot water because it's medical silicone.
Another question from the jury side.
And the exercises, sorry if I can ask a follow-on. Is it that the device also flexes in you, like doing micro exercises? Or is it that the app is something that I have to do and sort of do exercises by myself? So does it aid in doing exercises, the device?
So basically you put it in and then you pump it up to your liking. So it could also be different that when you're just like going to work, you don't need it as much. But if you plan on going to the gym, you can like even pump it up bigger. And then the device itself would not give you like any exercises. It's more that it reminds you. So we say that it's already enough if you do training like 10 minutes the whole day. So we would just send like a push notification, and you can say if you want to have it like 10 times or just 3 times, and then it would just like tell you how to do your training within like super easy, simple ways. It's just that women don't forget to do them.
Okay, I just thought it expands, compresses and expands or something like this, so it moves the muscle in order to train it. But yeah. This
is technology that we're looking in, but we probably apply it only in the second or third version, not in the MVP that we started.
That would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think there's still time for one question. Do you have one more question?
About the competition landscape, how is your product different from the other products?
So till now, there is no one product that have a holistic approach of both treating the incontinence, so giving immediate relief, and building the pelvic floor muscles. And the second thing is the individualization. So there's no, basically if we look at pessaries, that this is where we started with, it's a medical device that haven't really changed a lot in the last 100 years, where we're gonna offer individualized solution for each woman and their own pelvic floor.
Thank you very much, guys. The time is up. Thank you, Yaya. Thank you, Linda. And thanks to the judge panel. Yeah, let's turn over to the last startup in today's finalist list, which is InSTREAMLY. Victoria, can you please open up your camera and introduce yourself, please?
Hello, my name is Victoria Wojcik, and I'm co-founder of InSTREAMLY, and I currently take the lead as our product owner and synergy manager. And I started out as a streamer, and then I followed on to be an esports host and interviewer, and also worked in marketing and esports organizations. And right now I want to help all the streamers in the world to make money on their passion.
Thank you very much, Victoria. And here follows your pitch video.
Hi, my name is Victoria and I'm InSTREAMLY co-founder. There is a revolution in distribution of live streamed content. Now it's not the TV leading, but millions of independent broadcasters. They are called streamers and they stream from their homes. There are 3 million streamers live each month, but they are too small to work with brands on their own, and streaming platforms like Twitch, YouTube exploit it by claiming ownership of the broadcast. At InSTREAMLY, we have a different vision. Streamers can earn just as the platforms do. InSTREAMLY is a technology that allows to manage and place content in hundreds of streams automatically. Thanks to this, streamers have control of their content and freedom to earn money on that. On the marketplace, streamers connect with brands directly and earn money by displaying sponsored content in their stream. Brands work with hundreds of streams simultaneously. The business model is quite simple. Brands sign short-term sponsorship deals with streamers. Brands' content is displayed in the stream in an automated way. Streamers get paid, and we get the fee from the transaction. And it's market proven. In the second quarter of 2020, over 2,000 streamers used InSTREAMLY to participate in multiple campaigns, offering over 15 million views of brand content in their streams. Combining thousands of independent broadcasters into one network offers great advertisement opportunities. But recently, it came out as really much more than just this. Streamers reach young people who do not trust politicians and traditional media. When the epidemic broke out, we launched a campaign that informed the viewers to stay at home. Hundreds of streamers participated in the action, and in just a few days reached 400,000 people. Next steps, there are many entities that cooperate with streamers, for example, esports organizations, and all of the work is done manually. They need a solution to manage and monetize their streamers. We deliver the solution as a SaaS tool. We have clients like G2 or Big testing out the tool, and they love it. Then the SaaS clients enter the marketplace. Brands can start working with their streamers through the marketplace. And of course, it's all done with a great team of experienced esports streaming and marketing professionals. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our pitch.
Yeah, thank you, Victoria. Any questions from the jury side? If there are no more questions from the jury side, you can make use of your remaining 3 minutes, Victoria, and keep on pitching, telling about your startup, and yeah, make the most of it.
So the questions we get the most is how we're gonna scale and how we're gonna get the business, how is Netflix working with us. And we actually work directly with media agencies because we want our streamers to have access to premium brands. And also media agencies finally have a way to use live streaming in a measurable, very like media planned way. The other thing that we often get asked about is our long-term vision. So what is the goal? And of course, money is not only the thing. We want to help streamers grow. So our vision for the platform is to be the best place that helps streamers be a better content creator. One side is our monetization options, and the other is a whole statistics and recommendations platform that gives tips to streamers how to make better content. For example, it analyzes the statistics from the stream and gives them a tip that if you stream this game from this to this hour, you will get more viewers, or try to be more active in chat. This brings the viewers in and they stay with you for a longer time. So this is the vision for the streamers. And for the brands, we want them to know that this is the best place to work with streamers to be active in live streaming. So we have new different products and optimization of the campaigns that will help the brands really leverage the streaming potential and reach the Generation Z in a way that also supports the content creators. Maybe this sparks some questions in you.
Well, if there are no questions from the jury side, thank you very much, Victoria. And
thank you very much.
We came to an end of today's pitch battle. I want to thank all of the great startup projects. It was amazing. We had so many cool projects and so many different ones, and they're all very important. They're solving important solutions, like they're solving important problems, and we are so happy to have you all on board. Also, a huge thanks goes out to our jury panel, of course, who took their time, who shared their experience and their insights into the tech industry and entrepreneurial spirit. And yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, last but not least, thanks for the audience who stayed with us until now. And yeah, now comes the last part of today's She Loves Tech Germany session, which is probably a pretty tough one because it's now to decide who will be the winner of She Loves Tech Germany. How is the agenda going on now? So me and the judge panel, we will get offline from this webinar and we will meet in another Zoom meeting to have the jury discussion. For that, I'd like to ask you to have at least one team member of each startup to stay here online, because we will return in about 20 minutes. So please be back around 17:05, and then we will get back with the winner announcement. So yeah, thank you all again for the great pitches. Thanks to the audience, thanks to the jury panel, and we will see you in about 20 minutes. Stay tuned.
Is it going to be all quiet here, just out of curiosity, or can we still kind of talk to each other? I just want to say, seeing you guys pitch all the female founders or co-founders here, you guys have such amazing products, and I wanted just to give the congratulations to all of you guys, because you guys just have amazing business over there. But anyway, I'm just opening up the floor if anyone is open to have some discussion while the judges are away.
Thanks, Fiona, for it. I completely agree. You know, I've been sitting here, and right now I'm based out of Singapore. It's 11 p.m. at night, but I'm kind of at the edge of my seat, just listening to all of the startups, and really excited to see so many different types of startups, number one. But I loved hearing everybody's story, you know, from people who were doing this and the kind of like problems that you were trying to solve. I could really hear the passion, and it's just so exciting. I really felt so, I know I haven't met you guys, met any of you physically yet. Hopefully that would change in the future, but I just felt so proud, you know, just hearing everybody. It was just such amazing stories. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think everybody, like, just all the pitches here, I mean, hers have crazy product. That's so useful for anyone probably even going through pregnancy. I think it's you guys got so much of a large market. And then I've seen the pitch, what is it called? Is it Nocturne? If I didn't pronounce it correctly, Ella. You guys, like, wow, that's so amazing. And I looked at even like Advosense, Swipe guys. You guys are all amazing. You guys are very, I mean, not from a competition sense, but just from like pitching sense. You guys are so amazing in your deck.
Yeah, I was here only for 2 pitches, but I pitched a lot in competitions before, and yeah, it's like it was on another level. I think some of those pitches and the 2 I saw were like really, really, really good. So so kudos to us.
Yeah, that was really cool. At Victoria, how long have you been in the esport industry?
Since 4 years now. So I started streaming in 2016. I was fresh out of high school, going into college, and I thought I wanted to apply for an internship, and I sent the wrong CV, and I just like felt, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna play games and earn money on that. And I was watching a lot of esports and games, so I just like imagined my career might be into this field, but I didn't imagine that this will look like this.
Ah, right.
So it's been a crazy ride for the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's so cool. Can I ask some silly question? I mean, the judges are not here. I like
Of
usually.
course, but just to let you know, it is recorded. But you know, feel free to ask anything.
Yeah. Is it Yara? How much is your device cost for like end consumers? That's for a question for her.
Sure. So we are now, because we just started, like our idea basically started in March, right? So we're working half year on this project, and we're now aiming at 250 euros per device.
Ah, okay. But how long can it use? I mean, how long can you use for the device? Like, does it come with like a warranty or something like that with the device?
Normally, like what we were planning at, as it is the same material as used for menstruation cups, there it's 10 years warranty. And also when you compare it, for example, other smart devices within femcare, for example, Ava or Elvi are also at the 10-year timeline. And also this is kind of where we see ourselves at a price point. Ava is also at 300 euros and LV is at 200. So we're kind of like basing our strategy on that area of really like solving women's issues. So women are like willing to spend money on that and also on the device. And but we're also finding on, like, it depends a bit on when women are affected. If it's like very late stage, then women need to use it probably for a longer time. But if it's women, for example, after their first baby, they can use it for 3 months, and then they should have trained their pelvic floor so good that they don't have to use it any longer. Only after the second baby then, and then menopause again.
Or maybe when they get old and like they have the problem again. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. And also, if I don't mind, I'm really curious of all of you guys' products. I have a question for Advosense. The what do you call, is that one of, it's not a diaper, it's disposable briefs.
Yes, so essentially we call adult diapers briefs just to be more geriatric friendly, but it's essentially the same thing.
Is it thicker in the pad area? Like, how does it look different?
So we intend the actual sensor, it can be actually printed onto the material, one of the substrates of the actual brief itself. And we're also hoping to actually reduce production costs from the materials, because you're changing the brief more often. You don't need this extra kind of super absorbency filling that you're putting into the brief, which will actually make the brief more comfortable for the patient to wear, and also in terms of environmental friendliness, having less of this production of this material going out there.
So what kind of material is it? Like, is it like a fabric, or is it like I don't know, for example, the mask that we wear, those like non-woven fabric? What sort of material does it actually use for these briefs?
Yeah, so it's the same as a regular brief or diaper. It's the non-woven fabric.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then like they usually the patient in your hospital, they would change like 5-6 times back.
Exactly. Like if you go by, I mean, every patient's different, of course, depending on their condition or whatnot, but standards you're going about voiding. If you're a healthy patient, you'd be voiding in order to change about 6 times per day. Every 4 hours, usually you expect to empty your bladder. So we're basing it on this. However, again, it really depends on, you know, there's some patients that have fluid overload, so they need more changing more, or some patients that are dehydrated. So it will really depend on the case of the patients. But this also makes it hard for the nurse to really kind of determine beforehand, like if the patients will be wet or not, because it's so individual.
But it cannot be used for men. I mean, men will have the same issue when they get old.
Yeah,
as well.
it's for both, yes. But in terms of being more focused on females as well, there's a higher rate of incontinence in women, which is 1 in 3 in the geriatric population. So the product will automatically be worn on women more than men, just in terms of the incidence rate.
But wouldn't the design be different for men?
I mean, currently now, basically in healthcare organizations, unless you're looking at certain pull-ups, but it's mostly standardized to just have one standard brief for men or women, and it depends on the size. Basically, you have small, medium, large, extra large, and 2 different types of briefs. You have kind of the ones with the Velcro on the side or the pull-ups, but in healthcare organizations, you usually don't see like custom for men and women, but that would be more in the private kind of buying off the shelves market.
Right, but have you guys already made your prototype already? Like you've got one like dangling, not dangling.
No, unfortunately not. We did the technical validation with the sensors, and we're currently making our first prototype to be able to dangle.
Oh, right. And the sensor, how does the sensor itself send the signal then? Like you have this machine that is supposed to be set underneath the bed to sense the...
Yeah, so essentially there'll be kind of it's a bedside unit either on the ceiling or depending on the organization where it will be placed. And that will transmit the signal through IoT onto the software device. And then we're going to be displaying the notifications via a web application. And this will be depending on the organization itself, whether it's on the computer that the nurses have at the desk, or whether if it's an iPhone. Some hospitals have iPhones now, so it'll be dependent on how the notification will be received.
But would you need like one of these sensor per room? Because sometimes the ward has like 6 beds, or maybe sometimes has 1 bed. So how many sensors do you need per bed?
Yeah, so we're looking at it'll depend on kind of, we're right now trying to work out which type of hardware device that will work out the best, whether it's 1 per patient, but we do have the option of doing a ward room of 6 patients. So it's really just going to depend on what makes sense.
Wow, very cool. That's like, you guys have really cool products. And I also admire a lot with all the rest of the other female entrepreneurs here. But anyway, I have all my questions, so if you guys want to continue. Let me just see. Swipe, guys. Yeah. Is it your guys like the first time to have this competition with Shilab Tech?
Yeah, mine first time here.
I think for everybody, I think it's the first time that they have pitched here. Majority of the time we do have brand new startups. Very, very, very rarely do we have an overlap of startups that have pitched in previous years and then they've come to pitch again. Typically it's when they've made a lot more progress, or they want to be able to showcase, or sometimes they pivoted as well. So we have a startup that's based out of the Philippines that actually pivoted, and they moved from one business and they created a completely new business, and so they applied again to Shilab's Tech. But we have a very, very comprehensive way of vetting through all of the startups. So the vetting of the startups is not done randomly, and it goes through multiple rounds of vetting even before sure we can select the top 10 in each country. So even though they have to, even though if you apply again, it goes through that same criteria.
Right. So Leanne, you're from TechCo or you're from She Loves Tech, right?
So I'm the co-founder of She Loves Tech, yes.
Ah, cool. Can I then ask you what sort of what is the judging criteria then? So I think I'm talking too much here. Like I just didn't want the room bit awkward, so I'm just opening conversation. What sort of criteria are you looking into the startups and I guess essentially what are you what are you looking for to judge?
So that majority of the the criteria and what we're looking for can be also found on our website. But mainly, the key components, like majority of pitch competitions, we're looking at the team. We're looking at the problem that you're trying to solve in the market size. We're looking at kind of the technology and the innovation. Sometimes we also look at the kind of traction that is done. Yeah. Sorry?
How do you define traction? Is it like by how many customers or like revenue wise? Like how do you define it?
Well, it's very different. You can imagine for different industries. So for example, a med tech company will have a very, very, very different type of traction than, for example, a social commerce business, or something that is has a little bit more retail. So retail tech, fashion tech, we do have it as it's going to be completely different in terms of traction. So we do look at it on a case-to-case basis.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I mean, this is our 6th year of doing She Loves Tech. So it's really interesting to kind of see different countries, the kind of trends, to see where everybody is as well. And all I can say in terms of traction is, as you can see as well in this mix, there is a huge range of traction. Now, people that are a little bit earlier stage, but have really interesting technologies, versus people that have a little bit more traction. So there is a range, and what is so exciting about She Loves Tech is that we have that diversity and that variety from different angles, and also that we have, for example, in our global stage, we also have a lot of different diversities. And it doesn't mean that if you necessarily have a lot of traction that you will be the winner. So for example, in our 2018 finals, we had our 3rd place winner globally was a company from Israel, and they were doing robotic wheelchairs, and they were very early in their stage. They had a working model and prototype, but they had not scaled, right? But what they were trying to solve was a really interesting problem to really reduce the kind of need for caretakers, right? And so the robotic wheelchair actually helped to move, because one of the things with people with disabilities is that if you don't move your limbs, your health actually deteriorates very, very quickly. So the caretakers are usually trained constantly, have to move your limbs manually, and so their device actually helped you to learn. It was also AI based, so to help you to learn what are the things that you needed, and what kind of movements you needed, and to help you to create those movements without the need of a caretaker doing it for you.
So have you already sitting into the other cities pitches for She Loves Tech already now?
Yes, so at each She Loves Tech finals, we have one of the co-founders. So there are 3 of us. So we'll have one co-founder present, always sitting in. Typically, more than one comes and watches each final. So we had a finals last night as well. Sorry, two nights ago that we watched. My other co-founder, Ria, was giving the opening remarks and closing remarks, but I also had tuned in. So this right now is our fifth country that we're doing, and we still have 30 over rounds, I think, still to do for She Loves Tech for our global finals.
Right.
So it's a really big undertaking.
What sort of like innovation in terms of like industry? Because I mean, in She Loves Tech, you have different industry that you're looking at, right? Is there a specifically more industry in the one? So is there specifically one industry that's more focused, or maybe more application coming through this year compared to the previous year?
So you're asking about the different kind of like industry themes, right? That's coming through.
Yeah, that's
so,
what you guys looking at. But this year, is it like a one industry more than the others?
So what we find is that actually year by year it differs, and it differs actually even more so than annually. It differs a lot by country. So we're seeing very, very different themes, for example, come from, let's say, we had our finals in Singapore at the end of August, and the big theme this year was medtech. So it's really interesting medtech and biotech solutions, whereas the previous 2 years in Singapore, actually previous 3 years in Singapore, had been very much on AI and sometimes fintech. So we're seeing things shift as well. You know, we see, for example, in different countries, just more emphasis on certain things. We see countries that have a huge emphasis on remote working, for example, because that has become such an important theme. I think the only real difference is this year, obviously, is the theme of COVID. So how do we create solutions to be able to overcome some of our challenges that we're facing because of COVID? And also there are a couple of really interesting technologies that have applied through She Loves Tech that are very COVID-based. So hygiene, right? How do we create technologies that create better hygiene and for our environment? Rapid testing of COVID. So we're seeing really interesting ones. But there's no hard and fast answer to main themes because it differs so much.
Yeah. How many do you receive in international applications?
Thousands.
Mm-hmm. And each city you only pick 10.
Yes. Each country.
Each country.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously we have our winner that represents the whole entire country, and that gets really exciting because we see on one hand we see a high level of healthy competition, right? Because everybody's so excited for their country to want to win. But on the other hand, what we're seeing is very close camaraderie between the finalists. So we see that, for example, last year during our global finals 2019, you know, everyone cheered everybody on, right? And they were actually listening through the whole entire week that we had our boot camp. We actually had a physical boot camp, so everybody was together, but they were helping each other, listening to each other's pitches, giving them tips, and we had so many of our finalists say that they've never had a competition like this before, because while it is a competition, it really felt like they were all lifting each other up. And I think that has made this whole entire experience even more special. So we really hope that even though that the online capacity obviously means that we're physically apart, but we're hoping that this camaraderie still happens.
That's interesting. Cool. Thank you so much for walking.
No worries.
Sharing some of the stories.
I'm just going to get my colleague as well, Helena, who is with us, and she's so amazing. She, really helps us to manage all 30 over countries. Helena will share a little bit more about what is to be expected and what are the prizes. Helena.
Yep. Hi everyone. I guess that maybe this particular piece of information will be shared later by our judge, because the judges will then share the top 3 prizes for our local top 3 upon the announcement.
Okay, got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think it seems like the judges are going to be back soonish. A lot of discussion is always good, and seeing all the startups pitch, I can imagine why there's a lot of discussion. It's really hard to pick a winner in many cases, and especially tonight. There's so many amazing technologies. So they will be back very, very shortly.
So I just wanted to ask, do you think that I'm the only male here in this event? Because I have to say, I felt a bit intimidated knowing that I'm the only male, and I like to have these experiences, because then I think, okay, so this is what a woman feels like when she comes to such a
exactly.
Thanks for sharing. So even though that tonight, you may be the only male in that sense that is speaking, but I'm sure a lot of teams also have male co-founders that we see. One of the things that we emphasize a lot, we obviously want to lift and promote women and to build, to help to support more women to build good tech businesses. But one thing that's really important for us is creating that diversity, because what we see is diversity brings so many different perspectives, and it's so important to build a good, cohesive, and strong company. And there's tons of research that that indicates that having diversity within the team, has better revenues, and it's just so much stronger in general. So I would say that even though that you may seem like you're the only male, I'm sure that there are many companies that also have male founders. And it's quite interesting, because we are women-led and women impact, we actually sometimes have completely all male teams, but that are building solutions that impact women positively. Very much, like some of the solutions that we have seen today. So for example, we had a finalist from Vietnam. Their app is called Lily, and it's an all-male team, but they developed a women's health app in Vietnam, and right now it's used by over 400,000 women in Vietnam.
Yeah, it's a great work. Keep doing it.
Thank you. It's a tough journey, as you can imagine. We really have a very big goal to really create tangible change in this industry. And we can only do it through partners. So TechCode has been such an amazing partner for us in Germany. And we've had just such great partners globally to support us. We wouldn't be able to do this alone.
I was also wondering, because unfortunately that now everything has to be online, but where were actually like the last finals? Were they then in China or somewhere in Europe?
So our last year in 2019, the video that I showed earlier, that was done in Beijing. And the reason why we've chose Beijing, we brought our startups kind of all over the world. So we brought them previously to Silicon Valley, we brought them to Singapore, to Israel, but what we are seeing is that China just represents a completely different market, right? It's really eye-opening. And so the technologies that we're seeing, the speed of execution, for example, the speed that they are pivoting and growing at that scale is unlike, you know, what many have ever seen before. So we partner with many organizations, actually some of the world's largest organizations in China, well, actually anywhere that we are in. So in China, our partners include people like ByteDance, which is, you know, the number one largest company, startup, most valued startup in the world, right? They own TikTok, they own Lark, and many other kind of organizations. We bring them to Xiaomi, which is the electronics device manufacturers and just such interesting technologies as well. We bring them to Baidu AI. And one of the really interesting things at Baidu is they deal a lot with facial recognition, with and with self-driving cars. So our startups in the past have all kind of been able to take a spin in these self-driving cars. And we also, you know, just work with really the best companies because we want to be able to showcase and for everybody to learn, right? So we give our startups access to executives from all of these extremely large companies, and you get to learn from, you know, sometimes founders or founding teams who have started these companies and how they grew, how they pivoted, the challenges that they faced, and it's really exciting to see. So that's kind of part of our bootcamp. And then the other part of it is a lot of completely customized workshops that we create as well, based on the years of experience that we've had. And we also bring in experts from all over.
Well, really interesting. A pity that this year is only online, but well, I hope next year it will be done in China, Beijing, somewhere again, because I think that's really what adds value to us, to see like a different view of doing things. And I've also been in China quite often, and I was always very amazed by how things are done there, and also how much time and effort is also spent into innovation.
Yes, it really is like nothing that we've seen every year. Well, I go to China, you know, a couple of times a year, obviously not this year, but every time I'm there, I'm always just amazed by everything that's going on.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have our judges back? It doesn't seem like it.
Our judges will be joining us shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe take some water, everyone. We'll be making the announcement very soon.
maybe I'll just throw another question out there. Leanne, maybe you might be able to know a little bit more the startup who have, I guess, won by per city, or maybe at the end of the competition. Do you know how much funding they have been able to raise?
So we track our startups as much as we can. Obviously, there are startups that that have raised funding that we're not 100% aware of. But the ones that we are aware of right now, our She Loves Tech startups have raised more than 150 million USD in funding.
150 million.
Yes.
Okay, but is this through? Are they all through the She Loves Tech investor circle, or that's maybe beyond because they?
It's so beyond because it kind of has a ripple effect because you get a lot of more visibility because of She Loves Tech. Also investors start recognizing as well. That you are a winner of She Loves Tech, and that really kind of amplifies your kind of visibility with many of these investors. Also, that we create many different types of conversations. Sometimes investors come, they attend the pitch and they see you and they reach out to you. So it really has a ripple effect. It's very, very, very hard for us to be able to track that. So all we can track is pre-She Loves Tech and then post-She Loves Tech.
Hi, everyone. So while we're waiting for our judges to come back, I would like to ask everyone to try to see if you can open your camera so that we could get every one of you in here, because we'll be taking a group photo later. Prepare yourself nicely and pretty and handsome, and then we will take our group picture tomorrow. Not tomorrow. We'll take our group picture later. Yeah.
For Helena and I will actually almost be tomorrow.
Good one. Good one. Meantime, I'll just ask everyone to open. Okay. Let's give everyone some time so that everyone's already with their camera on. And then we're waiting for our judges to make our announcement.
I can start my video. It always says the host stopped it. Oh yeah, Miriam saying the same. We can do that.
Tried it again.
Tried it. Keep trying it. Nope.
Yep.
I'm having the same problem. Can start the video.
Helena, you have to make them co-hosts.
Yep. Making.
I can't start mine either.
Just give us a little while for Helena to make everybody co-host. Once you see that in the participants list that you made a co-host, you can try, and you probably will be able to switch on your video.
Yep, everyone is a co-host now. Let's try to see if you guys can open your camera.
I can't, unfortunately.
No, Helena, it looks like they aren't co-hosts.
Okay, let me close this instead.
Can you try again?
Let me try again. Okay.
Yeah, I think now it's working. Sinja, can you try?
Let me check. There you go.
Okay, okay.
So let's wait for the others to jump in, but it seems to be working completely fine. So.
Okay. Anyone else that having issues with their camera? Yep, everyone should be able to open it. Anika, let me get Anika. Yeah, Annika is a co-host now. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and everyone opened the video. Perfect. Okay. Hey, everybody. Sorry it took a bit longer, but it was also a pretty hard decision to make. So bear with us, bear with the judges. They did an amazing job. You guys did an amazing job. I want to thank again everybody for joining today's event, to the She Loves Tech team for making it possible. And yeah, now Helena already, I heard that Helena already announced that we'd like to make a group selfie. So please open up your cameras, but I think from that side, we're good to go. And yeah, so we can prepare for a selfie. Helena, will you instruct us on that?
Yep, sure. Will Emma join us for the picture?
Emma, will you join us?
Okay. While Emma is responding, maybe let's take the first take. So everybody, yeah, everybody give your brightest smile, okay? 1, 2, 3, hold please. Thank you. Okay, let me check the photos. Yeah, we get everyone really pretty. Okay, one more time, maybe with some gesture. Maybe, yeah, a good or a love or high five, whatever. Yeah. Okay. One, oh, try again. We might need, yeah, more. Erin. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, please hold. 1, 2, 3, got it. Thank you very much. Yay.
Okay. Got the nice picture.
Yep. Let me upload the picture in the chat. Yep, we got all the picture. Thank you very much. And I'll pass the floor back to Sinja.
Thank you very much, Helena. And thank you everybody for joining the photo. I'm excited to see it in a bit. But for now, I will hand over the virtual microphone to our judge, Miriam Theobald, because she will announce the winners and the prizes. So Miriam, the stage is all yours.
All right, guys, it was a really tough decision. So thank you very much for joining the competition in the first place. We saw really great pitches. We're deeply impressed by our innovators here. And you probably already know that in this tournament, we the best 3 will get prizes, and the top 3 winners will get priority access to all the She Loves Tech programs, for example, monthly office hours or online curriculum. Also, you will get a post-competition advisory with She Loves Tech, and you will get other prizes like media features, which I know from a startup perspective are super important and super helpful. You will also be getting AWS credits and fingerprint for success assessment and much more. And for the first prize, we, I think you already showed just before we came back, the first prize will get, first of all, go to the semifinal, the global semifinal, and then hopefully to the final. It would be really great to see a German team there. And then you will also get fast lane to partner accelerators, fast lane access, and also like the other 2, you will get priority access to She Loves Tech programs, post-competition advisory, and also a lot of media feature. But without any further ado, let's announce the winners. I'm really excited now. So on number 3, please hold your breath, is Nocturne.
Yay!
Yay! Congrats!
Big applause! Congratulations, guys. On the place number 2, we have Advosense. Congratulations!
Thank you.
Congrats.
Okay, and now for the rest of you, please give a warm applause and all our congratulations to Swipe guide! Congratulations!
Congratulations. Philemon, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I just had to find the unmute button in all our excitement. Wow, that is wonderful. Thank you so much. It's a great honor to participate. It's a great honor. Thank you for the questions. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be big news in the team. Great.
Congratulations.
I want to do
you were all very close, really.
I want to do a huge shout out because I'm am as well very much impressed by the conversations, by the technologies that I saw. I was already reaching out to some of you, but yes, thank you so much and so much inspiration today. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Miriam, for announcing the winner, and congratulations to all of our 3 winners. Thank you, Philemon, for participating. Also thanking Martina and also thanking Ella, and of course all of the other startups who participated. It was such a tough choice, really. It was the points that were so close to each other. So yeah, but congrats to all of you. And Philemon, we're counting on you. We're counting on you in the global semifinal in November. Make us proud.
We will do our utmost best. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And yeah, so thanks everybody who made She Loves Tech Germany 2020 as excited as it was. Thanks again to everyone who participated, who supported us. The great jury panel. Can we please have an applause for our great jury panel? Come on, guys. Thank you so much for all the questions and of course for all the time you had for today. And yeah, thanks. And thanks to the startups, thanks to our mentors, of course, and thanks for the audience who stick with us until now. It was a long day, but yeah, it was a great day. It was an exciting pitch battle. So from my side, from Tech Outside, I think, yeah, we are good to go. Leanne or Helena, any last words from She Loves Tech?
Well, congratulations to the winners, but really, you know, it was such a fierce competition, right? I had no idea who were the winners going to be, and it was really hard, even for me as, in a sense, an audience member to know who was going to win. So really, congratulations! Very exciting technologies, very exciting businesses, and I really encourage everybody to keep going, right? Keep growing, keep building, and keep in touch with us so that we can be involved in your journey as well. I just want to have a shout out as well to TechCode. Thank you so much for doing this together with us at She Loves Tech. We really appreciate your support and your effort. Thank you, and everybody have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, She Loves Tech members. Thank you. It was great. Looking forward to welcoming you to the next pitch battle. And for now, congratulations to everyone. You did a great job. So yeah, take care and see you soon.
Congratulations.
Bye. Congrats.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice. Congratulations.